Thank you, Spirit, for this opportunity to share all of the wisdom, all of the knowledge that you have so gracefully shared with me over this past couple of years. I want to ask that Archangel Michael shields and protects this space, create this space, this container of healing, support, and knowledge for it to be clear, and for all that is transferred through me, all that is channeled through me, let it be clear of any misunderstandings. Let all of my words come from my heart and be expressed from my heart into the heart of this soul that is watching this video. I call upon Archangel Raphael to help use this space for healing, for that all that is said here on this video, let it be healing and a balm for those who are seeking that support. I ask Archangel Metatron to help me navigate all of the information, all of the spiritual wisdom with accuracy. Thank you, Spirit. Namaste, beautiful soul. Welcome to the Blooming Lotus Healing Channel. My name is Jakara, and I am a spiritual healing facilitator. I work within the Akashic Records to clear programs and energies that are not serving your highest good from this and other lifetimes. And today I wanted to talk about a specific subject matter that that someone reached out to. So this video is dedicated to Nicole, and she was asking me about the type of soul relationships, and she wanted to really understand what type of soul relationships are out there. And I know I talk a lot about that during my live streams, and I talk a lot about this, and I throw around all these like flame type of relationships. And I kind of wanted to just come in here and clarify what are the type of soul relationships that exist based on the Akashic records and what I've learned through spiritual response therapy, and kind of like give you a little bit of an understanding, a deeper understanding of what it means to have a relationship, a soul relationship with someone, and kind of like what to expect in a way, in certain shape or forms. So the first thing that I want to invite you to do is to really look at yourself as a human, right? As a human who is also experiencing this experience of being spiritual. So you are a spiritual being experiencing the human condition, but you're also a human experiencing the spiritual condition, right? It's not a condition, but a spiritual experience. So it's kind of like it goes both ways. So as you are here incarnated, you are in this reality of being human, and in this reality of being human, you are connecting, right? You have interpersonal relationships with other people that are around you, right? That could be, the interpersonal relationships can go from being a family member to being a friend, or maybe having a coworker. There's going to be different aspects. You're going to have different levels of closeness with certain people versus others. And in the spirit realm, it kind of works the same way. Okay, so that this is a version of type of soul relationships that I really want you to bring into the experience as much as you can of the human experience, let's just say, for lack of a better word. So let's say we start first. We're going to start first with the closest relationship that we have, right? Which would be equal to, someone who is either a twin, right? So if you have a twin brother or sister, you would have a very close relationship with them, right? And it is actually a known fact that people who have a twin typically can't live without each other, typically, and they do a lot of things together, and they share a lot of the things, same things. So when you have that twin, right, and we translate that into the spiritual relationship, right? So again, you have the earth relationship, and then there's also a spiritual relationship at the soul level. At the soul level, you have a home. Let's just say you have a home that you live in, and within this home, you're going to have, it's going to be, let's imagine there's a mansion with different rooms, with 9 rooms, okay? And within this mansion of 9 rooms, you're going to have also 9 souls that live in each room. Okay. Those souls that live inside the same room that you live in, those are going to be considered your twin flames. Okay. So when I talk about the twin flame in the aspect of the Akashic record perspective, the twin flame is not really half of you. You are fully a full in your own full capacity, a full soul, but the twin flame really has a very close relationship to you. Okay, so think about it as a twin. If you had a twin, how close you would be with that person, right? The same thing as a soul. So what happens when you have a twin flame, you tend to have a lot of lifetimes together. You tend to incarnate together a lot, whether you are experiencing your lives together in that incarnation or not. That is really up to you and the contracts that you come into agreement with each other. But the whole purpose of coming together or incarnating together is to really help each other and ignite each other in your journey of learning. When we are in the spiritual realm, we are really here to there to really learn in many aspects or many levels of consciousness. And we get to the point where we get prepared, we're ready to incarnate. So when we incarnate, we're actually almost in a sense a graduation, right? We come here to graduate from all of these level of consciousness that we've been experiencing as a soul. So as we go through these level of consciousness, if we stay in the same home, typically we're going to have one specific let's say soul that we work with a lot. Like they're kind of like our teammate, let's just say. But then there's also other twins that are there as well, they're also related to us. We may just not work as often with them as we do with the one that we choose, right? Or we choose each other. So when we talk about the twin flame journey, and here on this planet, typically is going to be a your twin flame who typically, right, you would have had a lot of incarnations with, and you would have contracts, right, that you have put together before you incarnated to follow through when you incarnate, so that you can activate each other and help each other in your journey. So these contracts are going to look different for everyone. Okay, some people are going to have the contracts of really coming together and doing a mission together. Some people are going to have contracts of healing karmic entanglements from other lifetimes. Others are going to have contracts of really just not really even seeing each other. They're just going to be doing their own thing in their own path. So it's going to look different for everyone. So that's a unique aspect of that relationship, right? But you're living in this home and there's other rooms. And so what is your relationship with those who are in these other rooms, right? So there's going to be those who live in the other rooms that of the home that you live in. And those are going to be what I like to call a flame sibling, right? So there is a level of closeness, right, with a sibling. If you think about it, let's think about it on the earth perspective. With an earth sibling, you're going to have a very close relationship with them, but it may not be as close as maybe if they were your twin, right? So it's a step away from the level of closeness. However, it's still very close. There's a very important connection there between you and that soul. So if we translate this in the essence of what it means when you have a flame sibling, that means that you've also incarnated a lot with this soul. You may have had your flame siblings really show up in your life to kind of help you let's just say direct you closer towards your relationship with your twin as well. So sometimes they show up in our lives to help align us, right? And that's when when you are really in a good path, is when your flame siblings really are showing up. Your flame siblings and other flames are showing up in your life. That means that you are quite literally moving towards the path that you're meant to be in, which is really cool. So the flame sibling is going to be a very close relationship, and sometimes it can be confused with a twin flame. That is very, very common. And so that's important. That's the reason why it's important that you kind of like get either, sit in meditation and try to get the clarification of that for yourself. Or you could also book a session with me and we can check that for you. But that closeness sometimes can be so intense as well, that can be confused with a twin flame. That's the reason why kind of having these lists of things, like how do you know if someone is your twin flame or not, sometimes it's kind of hard to really discern, because the energies are going to be very similar, and it's going to be very, very hard to check that unless you really tap into your own Akashic records and find out the information for yourself, or have someone find that information for you. Then you're gonna have a step out of the flame sibling. Okay, so let's say all of those who are living in the same home as you are, in all of those different rooms in that beautiful mansion that you are living in, they are going to be your siblings. But then the home is inside a neighborhood, right? So inside that neighborhood, let's say it's a closed neighborhood and it's really nice and fancy. You have nine more homes apart from yours, right? So you are one of those nine homes. Your home is one of those nine homes. And so in that aspect, in that neighborhood, right, in that like close nice neighborhood, you're going to have all these other homes that are going to also kind of have like the same cookie cutter type of thing going on, where there's nine rooms in each home, right? And so those are also those souls that are inside that neighborhood, that you're part of, are also going to be part of your flame type of relationship. And the flame relationship that I like to call this is called the flame cousin. So think about it, right? So if you think about it from the perspective of family, right, you have your twin, you have your sibling, and then you also have your cousin, right? So your cousin, you may have a close relationship with them, but it may not be as close, right, as you would be with a sibling, or maybe even with a twin. So what happens is that, with a cousin, you might have a lot of sorry, not relationships, but yeah, I mean, maybe lots of relationships in other lifetimes, of course, but other lifetimes that you may have experienced, but it might not be as many as you may have experienced with your twin flame or your flame sibling. But there's still going to be this essence of really this familiarity with this person. And almost like, you might experience parallels with this person. Basically, they may have experienced very similar things that you have. A lot of the people who are flame cousins in my life, that I have noticed, they are typically, it's not like they've had exactly the same experience, but there's a lot of elements of their lives that are very similar to mine. And in turn, we kind of reflect that on each other, and we have this level of understanding with each other, which is really nice. The same thing can happen with your flame sibling. The only difference between the flame sibling and the flame cousin in that sense, I would say, is that sometimes with a flame sibling, you may have more like almost like a deeper connection, in such a way that it may feel really magnetic, like way more magnetic than maybe a cousin would. There is a essence of magnetism that happens there, but it's not as intense as a sibling or a twin. Okay, so with a cousin, there is some magnetism. There is like this essence of almost like soulmate like energy with that person. But there's also a lot of lifetimes that you've had with that person as well. And they can show up, all of these different type of energies that we're experiencing, or these relationships, soul relationships, can show up in many shape and forms in our lives. They can show up as coworkers, they can show up as friends, they can show up as as lovers, they can show up as family, like actual like family here on earth. They can show up in many ways. So all of these three categories are able to show up in many ways in our lives. So if you think about the word flame, when I say to you, let's say on a reading, when I do the live streams, or when we do a session, and I'm telling you, hey, this person is a flame, whatever, any of those things, then you know that the flame, the essence, of the that word is letting you know the flame, meaning that they're very close to you energetically. Okay. And so that means that there could be a lot of different things happening here. You may have a relationship with a flame sibling or a flame cousin where you get triggered all the time with this person and you don't understand why. Well, guess what? Most likely, if you're getting triggered and you're feeling funky around this person, 9 times out of 10, you have some sort of karmic entanglement that needs to be clear, some program that you need to clear and need to harmonize the energies between you and them so that you can live a little bit of a better experience around them. Okay. This doesn't mean that that cannot happen with someone who is outside of the flame realm, but it's typically more intense whenever you are dealing with someone who is part of your flame experience, okay, which is the level of closeness. Now, your neighborhood, right, is going to be part of a larger, let's say, city, right? As part of the city, then you're gonna have different neighborhoods, right, that are part of the city. And let's say that that city has nine, or that town, let's say that town has nine neighborhoods. Okay, so those people who live in those neighborhoods, they're not going to be your flames, but they're going to be part of your oversoul. They're going to be people who are part of your soul family, but they're not going to be as close to you. That doesn't mean that they haven't had more than one incarnation with you. There could be a lot of incarnations that you have experienced, but the level of intensity might not be as harsh. Now, that you could potentially have programs with those people, and maybe you have to clear something between you and them. Absolutely, yes, that is possible. But the essence of the flame energy might not be there. And if you're listening to this or you're watching this and you are and you've experienced the essence of a twin flame, or the essence of a flame mate, or the essence of a flame sibling, or essence of a flame cousin, then you will know for sure that this essence is definitely different, right? Like you'll know, like, oh yeah, I can tell the difference between these people, and I have a feeling that this person might be a flame, somewhat of a flame. And you could always, again, confirm by, meditating and going into your records, your Akashic records, or you could also, ask me, and I'll be happy to check for you whenever we do a session. So that is in essence the importance of the flame, right? The flames come together because they're coming to ignite you, to activate you, to inspire you, to heal. They're inviting you to do so much of that journey of expansion, because that's what the flames are here to do, is to help you with your journey of expansion and learning as a soul. We come here to earth to learn, as a soul, like what it means to be in this human experience. If we wanted to stay love and light all the time, we would have just stayed in the ethers, right? But we come here, we incarnate here because we are here to experience the resistance, right? The other side of the coin. We come here to experience the wide range of emotions and experiences that can happen within the realm of the universe. So being human, just the fact that you are human, okay, that says a lot about your soul. It says that you are here really doing some amazing work, that you're here because you're basically learning after so many levels of consciousness that you've been through. So really connecting to this from a place of love, from a place of understanding that you are here to do so much more than just, go to work, eat, sleep, take a shower and go to bed, and do this on repeat until you die. There's so much more, and so much of the essence in between all these things that you're doing, that brings so much wisdom into your soul. And your soul is hungry for knowledge, and you are basically embodying that knowledge by learning what it means to be, in a breakup, of what it means to be in a fight with someone, what it means to be, in an abusive relationship, what it means to be in a car accident, like experiencing these things in the essence of embodiment. Because one thing is to actually just know it and observe it from afar, and another thing is to really know it, right? To really embody that and go through these experiences. So that's the purpose, right, of us coming here. And our soul family are basically here to help us in that embodiment of that journey, right? We're playing roles, we're playing parts of a play together, and we're taking the role that we are in agreement with, to be able to help each other again into that expression of inner knowing, and awareness at a deeper level. So I hope this helped you. I hope this, in essence, explained a little bit more what it is, what are these flames that I talk about. I know that some of you have been like, like, what is Jakara talking about? Like, I'm so confused, and I really wanted to make sure that this was clearly stated for you, and you can hopefully this explanation of the neighborhood and the home and the city or the town. I hope that helped you at least have like a grasp, the awareness of what it means to say, hey, this is my type of soul relationship with this person. It means that that's where they exist, or where they reside, based on where we are as well. So I'm here always to help you. So if you're experiencing any blockages with someone, any issues that you feel you want to overcome in regards to your relationships, I am here to support you. I understand it can be very difficult sometimes with our relationships, especially our soul relationships. And listen, it's part of the human experience, but it doesn't mean that we cannot make it a little better. I clear between me and my husband almost every week. Okay, it's a very common thing. Things show up, programs bubble up, and then I have to clear these programs so that we can have a more harmonious relationship. So this doesn't mean that that you have to do this all the time, but when things are unbearable, and you're not finding a way out, it's important to recognize that sometimes we need to address it on a spiritual excuse me, on a spiritual level. So I hope this helped you. I hope that this is something that uh helped you expand your knowledge in regards to soul relationships. And if you have any questions, please make sure that you leave them in the comments. Make sure you like this video. If this is your first time on this channel, please make sure that you subscribe, and share this video with someone that you love, or maybe someone that you feel might need to see this, so that they can understand and move past maybe difficult situations that they're going through in their journey of relating with their soul family. So again, thank you so much for your time, for your energy, for supporting. Make sure that you go into the links that I have on the description below to see how you can support this channel. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. It really means so much to me to create these videos, to be part of this community on YouTube, but also to build this community here. It really just it's there's not enough words to tell you how much it means to me to be doing this work, and to share this knowledge, and to share openly, and to really try to build a platform that will help you in your healing journey as you move through all of these tough experiences. So thank you again. I really just, again, don't have enough words. And namaste.